Shouldn't have done that. Hello everyone that are not here yet, but just have a little chat really. So most of the stuff I was going to talk about is in the description. I was going to do the usual, go through words and that. And when I first came into the chase, the first word, hi NFJ, how are you? Very quick. The first word was, well, obviously as first word, but then I, because everybody was talking about who is I, who is referred to in the poem, and is there more than one I being referred to, or is it something else other than an I? And obviously there was Yellowstone because AS, and at the end gold, both Yellowstone. Then ISA because as I, the other way around is I. SA, and then the idea, and lots of different things. Hi Tigger. Okay Larry, wow. You went quick. Hope you're all well. Like I said, I was going to do the going for the word chaos and going for the word I. Now, my journey in the chase was a little bit different than most. There are lots of different things, but the idea was to try and understand what was being said. And one of the things that I came across was the fact that chaos is a rainbow. So it could have read, at the end of my chaos, follow the 9 clues precisely will lead to the end of my chaos and the treasure. Oh, that's weird, because that's what we have. So could the rainbow be the chaos? I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm not saying that, I'm a know-it-all and everything. And Forrest made the statement that, I hope nobody finds out who the real Forrest Fenn is. So who is being talked about in the poem, if not, the Forrest Fenn that we know? The darkness. There's a song. The game is rigged. Oh, that's something I know from work, isn't it? So the game is rigged. New World Order. So I'm trying to work out who wrote that now. So when I retired, they put out a song for me saying "Young Girl," because they think that I talk to all the women or girls. And there are different ages, but they still call them young girls compared to me. And they put out a few requests, but one of them was young girl. So now I have to try and work out who is the game is rigged. And if that's New World Order, that's a bit of a topic to go on. And I hope it's not involved in the end of the chase. So say hello to all the people at work. And I have 2 cards here actually to thank people that I will remember for a long time, to be fair, that need going up. So if you want to say who you are, then I'll probably turn up tomorrow and hope that somebody puts them up above the clocking in. Sorry about that. Not chase related, but thanks for that, whoever you are. And it makes me laugh to think about it. I have a plaque that says Kale. Cool. Yeah, that's better than chase coordinate. And I was talking to Davey about how that may have come about, to be fair, because in the picture that you put on stoof.com, there is Troy the horse, the horse that went into Troy, and the car on the back wall. and the horse is at the wheel of the car. So therefore, Troy is at the wheel, and that makes him the chase supervisor, which seems a bit fun. That's how it goes. I'm going to chuck a few hearts for this person in chat who says the game is rigged. And just in case, a few flowers. The car, yeah, seems to be, my imagination. But at the horse's head, looks like there's the front of a car and the wheel. Or it could be DB Cooper, his image, either, take pick. But it does seem like that. No, I could be wrong. There's a lot of things that I see in that picture that, and I only look quickly, but I did find it interesting. It did look like a car, and it did look like it was a wheel, so therefore Troy's at the wheel, and he does try the wheel anyway. So that, must make him the chase supervisor. So, chaos being a rainbow. At the end of the chaos leads to the treasure. So, following the 9 clues precisely will lead to the end of my rainbow and the treasure. At the moment, it seems that Dave, man from the east, or back east, or however he wants to describe it, is going through with the court case. Now, I've been waiting for someone to go through with the court case because the synonyms call out for a court full and a case and a trial and lots of different things. And McCracken didn't fit the court full scenario or description. But maybe Dave does. And maybe, you need a court full in order to clear up any possibilities that may occur in the future in the chase. The weird thing about that is, I don't mean to be disrespectful, and I don't know if Dave is a real searcher or part of this chaos, but he talks about his team and how good they are and everything, and proceeds to talk about his case, and then puts up information about what fraud is. And the information almost discounts his case before it starts, because fraud is about trying to, take something that is the property of someone. Well, Dave, you don't own the chest. So therefore there can't be any fraud because the chest belongs to Forrest. Until somebody finds it, then, they may claim it. But you're only claiming that you found it. You don't have possession of it. So therefore it's not property, so they can't defraud you of it. They can't be taking that chest off you because you don't own it. So it's a weird claim. You're describing fraud as someone trying to take that, however much it's worth, whatever the property is that you own, from you, and you're making a $20 million case with property you don't own. So how have they defrauded you of something you don't own? It doesn't make sense. And there were other things that you said in your video. Now that might be me, I might be wrong. But when I read that description that you put up about what fraud was, it says that you had to own the property that you were being defrauded of. And unfortunately, you don't own the property. So I don't get that. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Redneck, howdy. That is definitely, cowboy stuff, isn't it? Howdy. Tim, is it really fraud? It's written out. No, it's a planned deception that is not meant to fraud anybody. It's just meant to make something happen. And whilst nobody owns anything, within the chase. Nobody owns that chest or knows of that chest, or even if Jack is real or unreal. The only fraudulent action is in everybody's mind, because Forrest owns the chest. Forrest can do whatever he wants in regard to that chest, and he can tell us whatever he wants in regard to that chest, because it's his chest. So whilst people believe that they found it, and they believe that Jack is unreal, Forrest is not defrauding them of anything, because they didn't find it. They don't have the chest. Forrest said you won't know unless you have the chest in your hand. So nobody's got the chest in their hand. So how is Forrest defrauding anybody? I don't understand that, in the way that fraud is described. But like I say, I could be wrong. I'm not expecting that any case of fraud to stand up in court, because nobody has possession of anything that they're accusing Forrest of trying to defraud them from. Does that make sense? Headed back to Denver. Woohoo. The I-80, Interstate 80. Know it well from Google. His friends Thomas a post. Yeah, Colfax is a good word. That was one of the words that I looked up as well. Again, there's twos and doubles and stuff like that. So Colfax is one of the early words that I looked at. He put his soul together. Yeah, he put his soul together with the help of everybody else in the chase. Took all their ideas and then claimed it as his. But it is what it is. I've waited for a court fall to come along, for the case, for the trial, for everything else that I deduce is possible, and then I see how it goes. But the fact that he put that up and said fraud is somebody trying to take the property, the value of the property from them, it's like, what? You don't own any property, so how are they defrauding you? Happy birthday, Tim. Tim, you having a birthday? Which Tim? Zozo Tim or Tim Adventures Tim? Got a run, daughter and girlfriend. There you go. If I'd have read that, I'd have known. Happy birthday, Tim. Thanks for popping in. Don't run too fast, because I won't be able to keep up. Have a great birthday meal. Hello to girlfriend and daughter. And if you're still in here, New World Order person, I was just saying hello. Young girl or old girl, doesn't matter. Yes, drive safe. Red. Tigger will tell you all about that. He is always driving. It's hard to know. Or they, or them, or whatever you're allowed to say these days. Hi Frank, how's it going? Doesn't matter. Fraud anymore. Forrest predicted the end of the world. Oh, thanks for that, Frank. So I've gone from the New World Order to the end of the world. And yes, the apocalypse is part of chaos. So possibly. I'm not going to argue with that. Predicted the end of the world, or saw the end of the world, or the world is going to end at some point, at some time. That's not a difficult prediction, but the time of the ending, that may be important. There you go. So just ask your son to drive safe. It's not deception. You just have to pull. Okay, I'll go for that, Tigger. Thanks for that video, by the way. Seeing the wrench just reminded me of, I don't know that police song ever. Never heard of it. King of Pain, whatever it was. Nope. Sorry. And Beans is there an English band, and I probably thought I knew most of their songs. That one, don't know where I was when that one came out. Tigger or Born Again winner. Born Again. On a lighter note, hey, Yes. So are you using a lighter to cook with, like a barbecue thing? Or is it just not heavy? What is it today? I think you should cook something Italian, to be fair. No more, Mexican stuff and things like that. Show us your repertoire. Or Chinese or something. If Shiloh didn't know anything about the special place, how could he have taken anything? Yeah, the thing is, he claims that Shiloh was there to dig it up. Then he says he didn't find it. He should have picked it up. Should have picked it up, but he didn't. He didn't find it. And then when he was there, the cross wasn't there. And then when he went back, the cross was there. But it's all about the cross, which is Kent and Esther, which translate to canasta, which is you should stay at home and play canasta, not go to a car park where Forrest, with his last gasping breath, is going to throw himself on that chest and dare people to find him. I don't know. I just don't know. And it could be part of the chaos. It could be the end of the rainbow, and this could be what ends the chase. But I don't know, Dave. I'm thinking if you've got the what was it? I've only got Justice League left now. Initiative. The begins with A. Don't know. Justice League Initiative. I can remember. Someone will tell me. If your team doesn't notice that what you put out on that video says that you don't own the property and you can't sue anybody for property that you don't own, that makes sense. Ooh, an unorthodox way. Is that religious? Chicken and dumplings. Sounds nice, and I have every confidence that it's going to be great. Are you cooking for the young lady for when she comes in? What happened? Any news? Brian put some pictures out of the chest. If that's news, and they're waiting for the colour photos to turn up. If that's news, because they think there's more than one chest, which is like nearly 4 years too late for me, because I was thinking that ages ago. But I don't know. He did a foyer and got some stuff. Capro was in chat, so that's interesting that she was in there talking about stuff. How can Dave Woodard think that the man from back east is from Massachusetts? Yes, Texas seems like a good possibility. And there was some talk of John Connolly, so maybe it's John, the governor. But who Forrest lived near, as far as I can remember. But I don't know. I've never looked for Massachusetts, however you say it. Never looked for that on the map of America. I normally go as far as Oklahoma because that's where my sister lives. And then as far as Oregon and places like that on the other side. Yeah, it would be to find Fenn at that state. Yeah, it would be fairly easy, and that could be two ways that Forrest said it. He could have meant find me personally or find me, the real Forrest Fenn. But it would be very easy, And with his last gasping breath, it's, look into that statement. If you've got your last gasping breath, how far are you going to get? And how do you know it will be your last gasping breath? So you don't feel well and you think, oh, this is it. So you travel however far it is, as high up as 800 miles or whatever to Montana, however it is, wherever you think the chest is. He's going to travel that far with his last gasping breath. He's going to throw himself on that chest and dare us to come find him. So it could end two ways. He gets out of the door, don't even get to the car, and doesn't make it, or he goes the however 800 miles all the way up to Montana, if that's how far it is. I can't remember now. But it's a long way. He'd go 600 miles in the plane without having to stop. And he gets there, and he actually doesn't feel that bad. He feels a lot better. So now, he's going to wait and wait and wait until his last gasping breath. So you have to look at that statement and think, well, maybe he's saying something else, or maybe there's no reason why he said it. So, you can't predict your last gasping breath, but if he did throw himself on that chest in that parking lot, then going to be found pretty quick. The way I look at it, Forrest said, people 200 feet and many 500 feet. If your solve doesn't incorporate that, can't be right. So if you're out in the wilderness and there aren't going to be many people 500 feet from where the place that you have is, it can't be right because it's not what Forrest said. And I believe everything that Forrest says over and above what anybody else will state or imagine or think or imply. I'll try and use what Forrest said as, gospel and then work from that. Oh, he's a good man. Brian, aka Granite Granny. No way. Don't say Granite Granny. Brian seems so gentle compared to Granite. Yeah, I know too. I was just joking because it's as believable as some of the stuff that's said. That was my intent then to make that statement. Say, look, some of the stuff you say is just stupid. If you thought about what you said, then you wouldn't say it because it doesn't make any sense. And my reference is always Forrest. If you make a statement about your soul and it totally disregards what Forrest says, I don't think that you're going to get anywhere near what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're only just saying now that you think there's something more, then something wrong. And if you're still claiming the chest, then there's something wrong. And whilst there might have been a chest to find, the fact that it was a lure says, there's something else. And if you don't understand there's something else, then OMG, the Boston tea. Why'd you do that, Tigger? I think the Forest. Yeah, I think, and Forrest told us, not in the sense of, boasting or bragging or anything, but normally when he interacts with people, they become better people in the sense that they progress and succeed and, are more well off. How they live their life is obviously down to them, but Forrest gives a lot of people a helping hand and, as far as I know, doesn't ask for anything in return. Although I was shocked that David Paisano said that. He basically said, get lost. I was shocked at that. Hi Forrest, I found your chest or something. Want to talk about your chest, and then he basically said, I'm going to go around the museums in Santa Fe. Forrest said, yeah, go on then, go around. I thought, what? Didn't sound like the Forrest I knew, although, Holy figured him out. Holy figured him out when he can't say Vignetti. He says Vignetti. Lots of birth and death. Yes. I mean, the poem could be all about death, to be fair, and birth. So, I gave both of those examples. Begin at where warm waters halt could be, waters breaking and taking the canyon down could be the human body. And death, same thing in reverse. But that poem will take you anywhere if you have information that you believe is right. And if you only act on that information and don't look at anything else, then you're going to have an answer. You're going to have an answer, and it could be correct. And I'm hoping that Forrest was expecting everyone, or the majority of people, to be correct, and gave them the chest to find. Sorry to hear that, Redneck. I was reading that over and over, so that's just stopped me in my tracks. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences, um, to you and your family and friends. Yeah, that stopped me. I'm sorry to hear that, Redneck. You didn't have to put that hard word there, Massachusetts. How is it supposed to be said? Massachusetts. 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 That's all I remember. I hear it as Massachusetts, but it doesn't read as that. FF never discussed Dave Woodard. Just the misguided vision. Hello, my friends. Hi, Rob. Oh, sorry, Robert. I don't know how you want to be addressed, or if that is your real name. Yeah, good to read you. And yes, we are friends. I think majority of us have been here for years. I heard that too. Is that for the Boston bit? Hey. Oh, Bobby. Not from Dallas. Not the Ewing. Oh. Yeah, I've got a Robert in my family, and my son's name is Ricky Roberto. So I suppose you could say there's a Robert there as well. Vertigo. You saw I was live. Wow, I'm honoured. You are the talk of the chase in regards to your skills at solving treasure hunts and various puzzles and quizzes. So good to have you here. Have you got any inside information that we all need to know about? There's a similar picture actually to your swirl on my screenshot, which is Rainbow Chaser and not Rainbow Chaos. I wasn't sure which one to put on. I wasn't sure whether to put the Rainbow Chaos on or the Rainbow Chaser. But I put a Rainbow Chaser on. Well, at the same time, your mum married two Bobs, not 2 cents. Call them Bobs. So thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Hush. How are you doing? I am well, thank you. A man of leisure now. Not so much, but not having to get up and go to work. Yeah, it's a good feeling at the moment. I heard that it causes disappearances, or it makes people disappear. Bermuda Triangle. Yes, yes. Oh, right. I hope you're talking about somebody else because I still can't say Massachusetts. Jim Bob. Oh. Is that good night, Jim Bob? Good night, Mary Ellen. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Grandpa. What was that? The Waltons. Oh, back to Walmart. Hmm. They're done. Now you make me hungry, Larry. And I know now that it's Oksana and Larry, the two together. I hope you enjoy that food. Is it just chicken and dumplings, or have you got a starter and dessert. Uh-oh. That means I've probably changed the travel routes if that's the case. Mind you, when you're saying that, Tigger, like when you say it's moving, like is it, an inch a year or a mile a year? Bimini. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you or read you. Can't actually see anybody, but and you're in quite early for a chat, which is good. Obviously, it's only I say 4 p.m. there, but someone will say no, it's not. It's 6, or someone will say no, it's not. It's 3 or 5 or whatever. But roughly um, afternoon there for you. So the reason I came on obviously was to talk about words. So I and chaos, and there are more words that I looked at when I first started this in order to try and understand what it was that was being said. Because Forrest said words don't mean what you think they do. So everything that I was hearing, I started to think, well, hang on, words don't mean what I think they do. What's actually being said? Yeah, and then there was a long road, and people think that I only have one way of looking at the poem, and that's not true. I showed you quite a few ways if you look at all the um, videos that I've done, but there is one way that's more entertaining than the others. But you can get information reading the poem differently. But I choose to think that the ball of string is, the way that I look at it and those sort of things. And that's David B as well, not just me. Uh-oh. Oh, I was like 6. What does 6 mean? But yeah, 6. No, so I went far off. And I can work out roughly where you are by, not roughly where you are, but whether you are east or west by the time that you give. So obviously, the earlier in the afternoon, the further away you are. So you must be towards the west. And you know, the later no, the later in the afternoon means you're towards the west, and the earlier in the afternoon means you're towards the east. Yeah, I don't understand all that central mountain stuff, but yeah, well, I do understand it. It means you're in the middle. But so there will be those in the east. You're not quite in the east. It will be. I'm working out now. As it travels from me to you, and you're behind me, the sooner you get it, it's 4 p.m. there. So you must be in the west because you're later. I know, I'm lost now. Tigger is not candy. I don't know how to take that. So you mean she's not Candy Irvine, or she's not sweet candy? Sure. Okay, Larry. 6:58 here, East Coast. Thanks for that. That helps. 7 o'clock there. 7 o'clock for 7 o'clock. That's throwing me. That makes you only 12 o'clock here. 5 hours. 5 hours behind. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's right. The less the time is, the nearer you are. Thank you for that. Can you? Can do. What's your teeth? Oh, that's a thought. So if Tigger was Candy, then Tigger would have had a wrench anyway, because Candy has a wrench. Thanks for that, Nikki. I miss Susie, to be fair. I miss Susie. I miss the Hoosier sisters. I miss Men, something Sunday Smarts. Miss Man Alone. Shannon. Those were the people. Obviously, AGK. They were the people that were, my go-tos when I first Sasha. When I first came into the chase. And your ears and eyes. So many of you have so many. I don't know what that stands for. Serial numbers. Hi, pirate. You must share the power. Well, hopefully, you won't need to act upon the power that you have. The fact that you are in here is enough. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, Hush has come out and said that pirate is Ben, and he's just come out and said that pirate is Ben. And somebody said that Candy was Tigger. So if we carry on tonight, we'll know who everybody is in the chat. Tigger rules the roost. Screen names. Oh, cheers for that. Thank you. I've only got one screen name. You got me. I'm Ben. Well, it could be worse because you got and this. It would hurt me. It would crush me if this is true. But you got the same avatar as Ralph Taylor, and that would crush me if that was the case. I tried to say the bunch of actors promoting a script as opposed to a bunch of liars promoting lies, but hi Steve, how you doing? Yes, I am enjoying my retirement, thanks. I think one of my work colleagues came in and obviously let me know that they're one of my work colleagues by telling me the song that they put over the radio for me. They've probably left now, although there's 18 people here. Ralph Taylor, he's a foul, yeah, and that's why it crushed me. So Ben, you're not Ralph, are you? Smoke weed every day and have a drink. That's what you do next. Or probably ask Ashley to get you something. What do you mean no one's the wiser? I think we're all talking about the fact that they're actors and you're saying no one's the wiser. Somebody must be the wiser if we're all talking about it. What we might not be wise about is who is who. Yeah, I don't have an issue with Paul. Who's you are Paul Amons? Paul's about 20 different people, Paul is. He could be all of you, Paul could. Oh. How could you have kept that from us, Larry? That's terrible. Only telling us now that your name is Larry. That's awful. Thank you, Redneck. I think, that's as near as truthful as I feel as it is. And a lot different than I'm Lindale. See, even that, this is what the chase does to me. I could be looking at that now and think that your name is Lynn Dale. I could think that you were joining those together just to throw people off. And your name is Lynn Dale. Our lives are script. Oh no, pirate! How could you retract a message? I trust you. I trust you to be the leader. You go by Betty. And where's Betty? Is she standing in your room and then you go by her? Is that just at weekends, pirate? I would say I am a searcher, but I never put boots on the ground. I'd like to say I'm a solver, but I has no chest. So I'm kind of like the misfit gal in the Breakfast Club. Nikki, all of that I got, apart from I don't know I know what the Breakfast Club is. You know, I've heard talk about it and all these famous people that used to be on there, but it's not something that I watched. So I'm going to have to say I agree with you. But not, I don't think you have to go boots on the ground to be a searcher. The fact that you're searching makes you the searcher. And there are many hunts that, don't call for going boots on the ground. You're still a searcher. So, and I'm not proud. Oh yeah, I suppose it is proud to be associated with each and every one of you, whether you are searching or whether you are acting or whether you are heckling, which is better than trolling. Doing the do. Oh Betty Boop. Boop boop be doo. How do we get to Betty Boop? Sounds like Lindell. Oh, not Adele. Lindell. Pretty in pink. I'm more vicious pink than pretty in pink because Forrest talked about fetish. See, even that. Dave, in his video, put out the wrong type of fetish as opposed to the fetish that Forrest was talking about. Forrest was talking about Native Americans and people having fetishes in regard to the piece. Was it stone or wood that the lady who had the bad back had to hold for her operation? So that type of fetish. And he was, showing pictures of people whipping stuff. And no, not quite. Yeah, good on you. And me. Actually, no, I did go once, but I didn't feel that. According to the information from Forrest, I didn't feel there was a need for speed. There was a need to go searching. You had to know where it was before you left the house. So finders, we're all supposed to be finders, not searchers. You're a minority report. I'm a searcher, a researcher, and a boots on the ground searcher. Cool. We are all treasure hunters in our own sense. And some people found, a different treasure, which is great. I nearly saw them, which is really great. I mean, I know they're only the stories that Forrest told us, but I do believe that people had life-changing experiences because of the chase. Well, pirate, I've got some bad news for you because your ship came in. It's on Stoof.com's page and it's grounded. There's no water there. So it's either Queen Anne's Revenge or things like that, or EC Waters. More probably EC Waters. So your ship's already there. on the good ship Lollipop. So it's beached on that chair. We need to get some water too. So it's normally waiting for a ship to come in, but a perfect pirate ship on that chair. Actually, Ben, if you are Ben, not Bill and Ben like the Flower Pot Men, but if you are Ben, why did you not do a show or a stream or however you wish to call them? I don't know what the proper word is. If you're allowed to call them shows or you have to call them streams. But I was waiting for a stoof.com update, not because I pay too much attention to it, but because I was waiting for a show because I looked and there weren't many Forrest Fenn shows. Even Josh and Street must have taxed themselves too much because they haven't put anything out either. And Barbara's just about managed to do one. So it was all quiet on the Western Front. I hear there's a rock concert coming to a city near you. I wouldn't want you to miss it. Are you talking about me? Like a Blackpool rock. I like rock. If you know what rock is, candy strips. Name running through. I hear there's a rock concert coming to a city near you. There's a lot of talk about Red Rock concerts, to be fair, and that was another place that I went. And Window Rock and Little Rock. Captain Kidd's Ship Adventure Gallery. Captain Kidd. Did you mean to say that? I've been there? Or did you mean to say I've been there? No, Mario. Oh, not a concert near me. Oh, Candy and Ben. No. It's from. Oh no, Little Rock or Red Rock. Yeah, I think I ended up at one point Window Rock. Is it Window Rock? There's a shop where those sort of dolls that Forrest showed us were. I ended up in that shop. You'll be surprised at the places that I went and the exact locations I went to. Just crazy, crazy stupid. But you know, who was talking about Paul? So that was a good video, Paul. He was talking about will aware statement. Good statement. I am in the UK. I'm in England. I'm in a safe place. Is Yellowstone going up? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Oh, so I'm in a Shiloh, am I? Was Shiloh a special place? I can't remember which it was now. A safe place or special place? The meaning of that. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm in a safe place. Although, if you look at the predictions of the flooding that's going to take place, I'm not going to do too well. Need to get to high ground. The misfit cow from the Breakfast Club was the only one that didn't. Oh, right. Cool. That's the best person to be, Nikki. That's the best person to be. You have all the smarts to not be in detention, but the enjoyment of sharing with those that do. I'm feeling crowded. Putty cat. You're only sharing it with a putty cat. We've only got Robert's word that it's candy. A candy putty cat. USS Kid. Now, Tigger, bringing that up, I've seen pictures today of the Battle of Midway, the ships that were sunk, and that takes me to the other side. I have done so many crazy. The Coral Sea. So before the Coral Sea and those that were sunk there, and was it the Yorktown and something else, and there was a chest there that went to Wyoming from that spot. Crazy solve, but that's Warm Water Salt. Another one. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Uh, Even a Chinook solve. I live in Flow Rider, about 30 feet. I think you do. I think apart from the warm waters there and the fishes there, um, yeah, according to these people that have done these predictions and showed these maps of how the Earth will look, and it's easy to believe when you consider that things are being found under the sea that obviously were on land at some point. So it's quite easy to believe that every so often we get screwed and we need water wings. Oh, oh, how to take that candy, Tigger. That could be that you've done all the good research and that you've only told us a bit of it. Therefore, you know more. Stop talking to yourself. What, the putty cat? See that? Whilst you know that's nice to see, and there's no reason to say that there is a chest under that handkerchief. That could be taken, when the books were there, unless you can see underneath. But how does that help in the overall solution? Apart from the fact that you think there's two chests. That would depend who you are, Tigger. If it was your picture, I've got to hold my. Candy. Well, in the chase, it seems that it's easy to fall out with people and be best friends at the same time, which is a bit weird in the real world. Um, there aren't many people I fall out with. I'm sure if the person from work is still here, they'll tell you I've only ever really um, fell out with one. And, I don't know. Sometimes maybe I'm a bit awkward, but I'm out. Have a good evening. Clean your tool. Seems to be a lot about talk about the toolbox, and a lot of pictures about the toolbox. Thanks for coming in, Hush. You didn't tell us who you were apart from Lindell. Doesn't help much, but I appreciate you taking the time, spending it with me, and us, I should say. Are you going to beat my four aces? Who are you asking? Four aces. Well, if I use the poem, I can have a 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace of Hearts. Does that beat your four aces? Or four aces and a joker? Is that four cards and a joker? Tigger is a pretty smart cookie. Very smart cookie. Oh, you could say pretty as well, I suppose. Pretty, purdy. Heck yeah. Ticket is the stripped cool cat. Stripped or striped? And be careful, get yourself in trouble. Same people are stripped. Although, depending on what the weather is, if they were stripped, they would probably be cool. Well, funny, but a little bit harsh. Right, Quaid. Yet, that guy has to be Paul. It's possible. He could also be Josh. He could also be Granite Granny. He could also be It Is What It Is. Eric could also be. Who could it be? Hemingway's keywords. Yeah, I looked at Hemingway, and whilst I knew of Hemingway, I was shocked to see that he looked. Let's be careful. Well, no, he looked like a man's man. You know, I wasn't expecting that. Most writers aren't, tash and hair and you know, rugged looking. Um, yeah, I was surprised at that. If that's the right person I'm thinking about. But he was in Wyoming doing the fishing and stuff, and I think that was him. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was him. Tash and that. Here's that guy. Hey, that guy. No, we were still struggling to find a treasure chest. So how are we going to find a mind? No. Where was the last place you knew where it was? Oh, there. He apparently shot himself with the gun that he used to shoot the birds with. I hope you mean feathered ones and not, you know, ladies that were walking past. I didn't know he shot himself twice though. Did he miss the first time? He couldn't have shot many birds if he didn't hit himself in the first place. And then there was a talk of the scissor tail, which is, you know, so you look at the scissors, and that is stick and paste. I can't remember how that was, but sticky. Um, and scissors, so cut and paste. If it's sticky, where was suffering from? Oh no, it must be Hush. Well, and I knew stuff about Hemingway, but I didn't know that. Tim, the other Tim, how's it going, Mr. Zozo? I assume you're a Mr. Zozo because you're a Tim. I don't know anymore. It's hard to know how to address people. Not Tiny Tim though. Ah, thanks, Redneck. I'm glad that because there was another author that was talked about. Don't want to get mixed up with him. His name was. It's gone out of my head. Boom. 5. That's a Tim. 6 toes. The bestest name. Bestest name. Who was the other one? Hemingway and Salinger. J.D. Salinger. I wasn't sure for a minute then if I was got the right person, but so yes, chaos. I was talking about chaos at the beginning. Is thrill as well. So he could have titled it "The Chaos of the Chase," which would, be quite correct. To be fair, so the thrill of the chase could be the chaos of the chase. That makes sense. And I think if you look at those words, I and chaos, there wouldn't be the uncertainty, I don't think, or as much uncertainty. Ah, right. Sorry, Tigger. I wasn't sure how that was reading, but you mean your daughter's previous neighbour had 6 toes? Or do you mean could read loads of different ways that could. They had 6 toes, now they've got 5. Or they've passed away, or they are old, or that's weird. Oh, did you see Forrest there? Because he was the one in the middle. What did that mean? Me in the middle. Me surviving myself. Trigger, it's a trigger. Trigger. What's a trigger? I started watching a reading. It's like watching an audiobook. She was old and long ago. Is that how everybody knew she had 6 toes? Wearing her stockings and her sandals. So, just read this bit. All right. Never heard of it before. Richard, it certainly is good for you to be here. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I don't often see you in chat anymore. Not necessarily my chat, but even other chats. Yes, I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you for coming as well. It's funny that entire book takes place in a 24-hour period. Yeah, I think the only person missing is 5 Leaf, and then we'll have a crew, unless he's lurking. I'm surprised that Pirate is Ben, because Ben's a lurker and taking centre stage. Dang. Yes, I'm tickety boo, as they say, but yeah, it's all good. You tell him, who am I telling? I don't know who I'm telling. Am I telling Ben for lurking, or am I telling someone? trying to read all these highs and hellos. So working on the fact that nothing is as it seems, and words don't mean what you think they do, and then listening to people trying to explain what they think using words that mean exactly what they mean is weird. It seemed like there was no imagination, no belief in what Forrest was saying, in the sense that if words don't mean what you think they do, what could they mean? What is the big picture? And all the time wondering like I know everybody's real, but who is helping Forrest make it happen, and who is a real searcher who's really disgruntled. And I think people forget that there are people who don't talk as much, such as Will Aware, such as Treasure Poem, such as Dutchman from the East. Those people that used to be more vocal, but just sort of, watching what's going on, who, in my opinion, are real searchers. I'm surprised Britt Chase has disappeared. I thought he was a real searcher. I wasn't surprised that Adam Foddy's disappeared. Um, Davy B's here. Hey, Davy, I missed you. I didn't see you coming. Unless he's lurking as well. The wonderful thing about Tigger is Tigger's a wonderful thing. I'm missing stuff. You have a wonderful. You're just preempting that, aren't you? I haven't seen Davy come in. Davy B. No, you're preempting him being here. It's roughly his time, I must admit. It is 7:30 in the morning where Davy B is. So, any time. Chaos is disorder. It's also Discord. So it doesn't surprise me that Discord is the name of. Yeah, there is a chaos rainbow, and there is a chaos chaser, which is the picture that I put on. But that's how you go around in circles. Rawlins. Rawlins, Wyoming. Now that rings a bell. Says Quasimodo. Rawlins, Wyoming. Woo. That's another place that I went. That's the. So part of the anagram solve. From table to, the east. Using the words that are in the poem, even the Santa Fe Trail, that obviously where Forrest lived. I must confess, I am not a real pirate. My name is Ben Not. That's a funny name. 240 miles to Denver. Wow. Hi, Ben. Pirate, you just said your name was not Ben, and now they're still calling you Ben. Teach. Teach? Oh, Blackbeard. That's another one. Blackbeard. And Queen Anne's Revenge. Nice to meet you. Are you a street pirate or a ship pirate? He's definitely a ship pirate because he's waiting for his ship to. I can't remember what he said. Not come in. Different. Something different. Ben is in here. Hush says that pirate is Ben. So we are heading down that road. Captain Hook. Oh, there's another one, Peter Pan, the hanging tree in New Mexico. I ran ashore. You've beached, haven't you, on that chair in the Stoof.com picture? You didn't answer anyway. If you are Ben, why did you not do a show about the pictures? Me and David were looking at the what looked like a pearl, which is maybe Peggy. Or, if it is chaos, a kaleidoscope. It's either a kaleidoscope or a telescope. I'm going for kaleidoscope because that could mean chaos. But, I've been wrong quite a few times. So, did that croc take your hand off? Tick, 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 tick. It's me. Yeah, see that I heard that about somebody else. I thought that if there was an action where you were supposed to be hanged and you survived it, I thought I was always under the assumption that he got let off, but obviously not because they hung him again, which is better than the hung, drawn, and quartered stuff. Made of rubber. Oh dear. Yeah, I think who was it? Did David come in and say it in Brian's stream? Curiosity killed the cat. What was that cat picture doing there? I'm rubber, you're glue. I'm big, you're small. I'm old. Matilda. The Rubber Band Man. Is that a song? Yeah, that's what I found out. So I was quite shocked at that. Hang again with another rope. I don't know where I got that information from, but in the back of my mind, it was like similar to the drowning. They put you under. If you survive, then you're a baddie, and if you die, you're a goodie. So can't win. Close to the line lies by now. Yeah, that's. I think that's pretty cruel to prepare yourself to die potentially horribly, survive that, and then have to go back up and go for it again. Yeah, Armstrong. Call me Stretch Armstrong. Don't kick. Oh, Larry must be milking Bessie. He doesn't want Tigger to kick his stool with that swishing tail. And that reminds me of Kicking June. If you're a witch, you will float. If you're not, you will sink. Yeah. Oh, catch 22. That's chaos. Yeah, you can't win, which is, not good justice, really, is it? Burn. Oh, that reminds me as well. So part of my soul was Forrest was the Burning Man, and Forrest was the Amiga Man. The only thing he wasn't was the Running Man. Yes, Zozo, it's similar over here, to be fair. Obviously not to that extreme, but my faith in politicians and government and people running countries has reduced considerably. because we don't look after our own initially, and we don't, whilst there's a reason why they want these people in, and it's possibly because they want their votes, which is the wrong reason to let people into a country. Um, Now, it might seem heartless to me, but I think find an island for all these people and let them fend for themselves. You know, find a place where these people can go. Obviously, it's different in America because they come across the border. It's easy enough. But for us, they've got to travel across the ocean or the sea or whatever you want to call it to get to us. Would it be just as easy to go to a place, give them the infrastructure there, and let them build for themselves, start a new life or whatever? It's the people here that claim unemployment. If it was me, I'd make them work, clean the streets, clean the signposts, help the aged, work for your money. Instead of leaving the place, the country itself looking, as bad as it does, because they're not paying people to do stuff, and the people they are paying aren't doing it. You know, just just do it right. That guy. I wonder if I can run faster being chased. Yeah, I'm the chasing someone else. I think when you're being chased, you have the tendency to look back to see who's going to catch you, and that slows you down. Unless you've got the ability to not worry about who's chasing you. So I'm going for the second one. It's easier to chase someone. Governor of Texas, boss, the Venezuelans to New York. Get out of here. Who would name their child Newt? I don't know. Who would name their child Newt? I just don't get it. I've seen the same there. I know what Trump was trying to do, and I just for the life of me can't think. I just can't. It's just, well, I say I can't think. I can. They want votes, and those people are going to vote. Who are you going to vote for? The person that let you in and supposedly saved you, or the person that was going to keep you out? Just be faster than the pen. Fig Newt. Well, fig's bad enough. Yeah. Just be faster than the person that you're running with, and then the bear will get them. Newt. Oh, bitches. Oh, salutes there. Yeah, I was never good at being chased. I was always looking behind to see how close they were, which slowed me down. I am the bear. I guess Texas couldn't handle. Yeah, it's just a crazy scenario. While you want to help people, you're helping people to the detriment of others. And in most cases, certainly for us, we have our own homeless that we're not helping. And we're giving people that come from a different part of the world more than we're giving people that we're not looking after already. I'm not saying we shouldn't help those people from another part of the world, but what I am saying is it'd be like your own family. You don't bring in strangers and disregard your own children. You just don't do that. So, there's something wrong if you think that's okay. If you think it's okay to help somebody else but not your own, you think that's okay, then there's something wrong. You have a responsibility to your own, first and foremost, and then helping others comes after that. You don't help others before you help your own. That's just wrong. If you can help both, then great. But more often than not, you can't. So you shouldn't disregard your own for the sake of helping someone else. That's just not right. So first, get your own house in order, and then worry about what's happening, next door. But you have to get your own house in order first, and then you can concentrate on what's happening elsewhere. And I just think that some politicians are a bit like some people in the chase, too greedy, and don't see all that there is. Is that Ursa Major or Ursa Minor? More problems. US government, they don't. And that's, possibly how China, want to take over and things like that. It's easier to enter a country without firing a shot and just, turn it upside down. That's a major. Yeah. Major Ursa, of course. Yep, absolutely. Has to be a major. So the people in here, in my opinion at the moment, obviously there's probably some lurkers, are all faith in the maverick people. Believe that good things come to those who wait, and that Forrest will make it happen. And even if you're not, if you took time to think, Forrest would not ever have decided that he was going to ruin the thing that took him so long to do. And whilst it looks, and I've said this before, whilst it looks bad, it's almost the great good part of it. And even if it was altruistic, it was still a chance in a lifetime for anyone who had a mind to take on the dare. My mum called me Dipper, but I didn't like it. Keep the faith, absolutely. You're a fool if you don't. The Little Dipper. Yep, sing the song. The Ursa Minor at the four differences. I didn't even see it on his door till recent. His door being Forrest door, the Ursa Minor at the four different seasons. Door till recent. Always smile. My brother was little. My brother Sylvester, what's he got? He's got over 40 medals on his chest. Big chest. Faith, belief with certainty in things that cannot be seen. Well put, redneck. Yep. I don't see any reason to doubt and obviously only going on, the information that we've got, but someone who's proven themselves over and over, why would you doubt them? Ever. If they prove themselves over and over that they can do, why would you doubt that? That doesn't make sense to me. And, I know about the chaos, and I know that, no, I say I know. I make the deduction that this is guided. So for me, it's not negative. The only negative is when people, go too far and, do almost illegal things and seem to get away with it. Right. For a minute then, Larry, I thought you were saying that you were Bear, the Bear. I've got a lot of time for Bear. I think he's a really smart person. I know people don't like the fact that, most of the time when you say something, he can possibly prove that you're incorrect in your assumptions, but he's a good man. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Thanks for that. Super Mario. I have to say, when I used to do the inductions at work, before people would say, like, where's the princess? How's your brother Luigi? And stuff like that, I say, now, before we start, I'm brilliant, Mario, not super. So, get that out of the way. So, Bill, I'm only brilliant, I'm not super. White with Gandalf. That's me in the lake on the scrapbook. That's me in the lake on the scrapbook. That's me in the lake on the scrapbook. Not that's me on the lake in the scrapbook. That's me in the lake on the scrapbook. Mm. Only I'm a white bear. Stop pirate. Bill. 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 The ending thus far is a ruse. Thus far. See, and I don't see it as the ending. I just see it as it's part of the chase, just playing out. So yeah, I can understand why people call it the ending, but I don't. Yeah, people saying like there's two ends, but if you're running a relay and one bit's done, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the relay. It just means one bit's done. So you have to wait till the end of the race before you decide who's going to be the winner. It's not finished after one lap. Sneaky little bear. A lot of bears. Yeah. Well, Forrest was leading us to the bears. He said, "Well, killed the bug and 15 of his relatives turned up." Bear's a smart guy, but arrogant. We we argued about spaghetti westerns. Not we had a discussion about spaghetti westerns. What was the argument, Larry? If it was anything other than Clint Eastwood did the best spaghetti westerns, then no. Oh, Tig is retracting now. My moderators are retracting messages. What's going on? One search of found a treasure left by anyway. Over hill. Jack is the winner chicken dinner. That's what Larry's having. Jack is my dog. He's the winner. Bipolar. Oh, that reminds me of what was that? Hunt. Can't remember which one it was. That was one of the answers. The bipolar, Santa, blah blah blah. I can't remember what it was now. Part of the poem. My name is Nobody. That reminds me of a royal person. Was it Edward? Who's this man? I'm nobody. So they didn't kill him. X-Men is the Grim Reaper. Bear is in here. So he has me blocked. Is lost. No, I don't think Bear's in here. And David B's not in here yet either. So here come up the X-Men. I don't see anybody. I just read it. Spaghetti westerns were filmed in Italy due to cost. It was cheaper film. Yes, nothing wrong with that statement. And it does get weird. Then when you try and look at the landscapes, I feel jealous. People that live in the US, because when you see the cowboy films and that, you can possibly, I'm not saying everybody, but you can possibly know, where that place is. Like if there's a program filmed over here, there are many places in the country that I know and look at it and think, oh, that's such a place. So it'd be cool to know, like, oh look, that's New Mexico, or that's Wyoming, or that's the Tetons, or that's whatever, or that's the Wind River, or that's the Hoodoos in New Mexico. Or something ends it. Death, aka the bullet. You can be nobody. Can I? I think it. Thing 1, Thing 2. That was a good film, The Thing. Magic bullets don't kill anyone. The vehicle that ended it was the bullet. A nuclear blast should end it. What? Is that the same nuke that Forrest had? Alien invasion. Not false flag alien invasion, a real one. What is 2? Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they tried to get or give out the right. They probably found the right answer. They just didn't want to give it out. Yeah, November 22nd. That's a strange date. That was a drone. Famous cast. Haunted cars. Christine. I think in any film that I probably remember words being said, I think that back and to the left is gonna stay with me. If somebody says that, I'll know exactly which film that's come from. Bit like, hey, what's this? One bastard goes in, another bastard comes out. That's a spaghetti western for you. Or the blondie. You just know, like, somebody reads or states a bit out of a film, you just know which film it's come from. Like, I'll be back. We should do anyway. That theory is one I ponder on the most. There's no way it was one shooter from that angle. No way. It's just not possible. Um, and it's weird how easy it was to just let it be forgotten. I know it's not forgotten, but not. I know all about the Warren Commission and everything, but it's like it just wasn't allowed to be found. It's a crazy world then, crazy world now. And people didn't know that he was reading up on Hitler and that. I don't think that's had anything to do with it, but you never know. Just crazy. And it's difficult to know how it would have impacted the US if he'd remained, president. Well, the world, not just the US. See, no, I'm not going to argue it because I don't know enough about it, but I don't think it was Lee Harvey Oswald. I know all about the Russian connection and everything and stuff like that, but if it was the book directory, that is just such poor security. Absolutely 100% poor security. That wasn't noticed at any time for there to be a shot given. Plus, the tree and the lamppost, and it's not even a good place to, if you're going to scout out a place to shoot from, it wouldn't be there. It would be on the other side of the street where there was nothing in the way and would give you a clear line of shot without anything being there at all. But what do I know? I'm not a, assassin or Jason. Boom. Well, I know he went over to Russia and that, and it's possible the CIA. But then you're saying that killed your own, and it's like. I did do a video that said, John Connolly, I won't forget this statement either. They're going to kill us all. You don't make that statement unless you know that they're going to just kill the president. You would make, if you're in a car and somebody takes a shot at you, you think they're going to try and kill the president. That's what you think. Unless they're trying to kill the president, but you got shot as well. It's like, oh no, they're going to kill us all because I know. But that's just my imagination. Yeah, I mean, obviously he said he's a patsy, and I believe that that's the case. The vice president took him out. I mean, there was talk that the gun went off in the car, and that they changed the way they did them things because he was accidentally shot. But again, back into the left. It's like, well, but they reckon that they changed the way that they store stuff in the car because of that. Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson did have the most of the game, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't seem to make sense. And Forrest didn't have that much, liking for him when he talked about Vietnam and that. Like billions. I don't know what that is referring to. So I read it and then I don't understand it, Bill. Michelle is a tranny. I don't know how that relates to Johnson. Gold was stolen from the Germans. Well, the fact that you had is it Watergate? If that wasn't, you know, highlighted, who's to say what was going on? I know that's not what you talk about, but you know, if that sort of shenanigans can be going on, then and it does ring a little weird that it's not just JFK that was killed. You know, the Kennedys seem to be targeted for whatever reason. I think are they running now? Is there one running now? You, yeah, I don't know what that is referring to. Joan Rivers. Well, I'm pretty certain that Forrest knew Governor Johnson. I think they lived on the same street. I'm sure that's something that I read. Joan is a tranny. Michelle was a tranny, he said, but they took Joan out because of it. Candy says that they were all to speak about it. Oh, does she? Tigger doesn't, but Candy does. OMG, politics. Well, yeah, how do we get on that when you talk about the chase? That's the sort of stuff that Queen would find out. You know, I don't look at that sort of stuff in politics. I don't do politics, I've got to be honest. I have no faith in it anymore. I was a bit naive before. But Governor Gary Johnson. Bum was going heading forward. I have absolutely no idea how you people have all this. I don't know what the word is, but information. I suppose one of the words would be personal, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Gay stuff. But it appears that I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but it appears that all your presidents seem to have a bit of a murky um, past. If this is how you're talking, apart from Donald, and he's the one, he's the one that everyone says they don't like. It's like what? Sorry, Mr. Trump. I don't know how we got into conspiracy. I think it's because people are conspiratorial in the chase. If things aren't what they seem, and Forrest is no good, and blah blah blah, and people are making court cases, then but I'm certain, as I'm sure everybody here is, that you know, the chase is where it should be. Yeah, that's a true statement. To think that everybody's going to be perfect, but it's getting harder and harder to be perfect because the world's changed such a lot, and this woke culture. Everybody should have a voice. I agree with that 100%. But it's just crazy stuff now. Crazy, crazy. Bill Clinton's days are numbered. He's already starting to decay. We found that out in The Simpsons, didn't we? I think we find everything out in The Simpsons. I think um, we don't need to live life anymore. Just watch The Simpsons, and then we'll know what's going to happen. Within a few years. Oh, Candy said that. I see. Gay pro cow food conspiracy. See, even that, I just think. I think it's just information. I think everybody's given information, and they pass that information on, knowingly or unknowingly. Whoa. Did he? I thought he said wind would affect it. I don't remember him saying harm by fire. I think he said it wouldn't get blown to smithereens or something. Run away, run away. Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Painted black to conceal the catch. I don't know, we're going to talk about DB Cooper soon. Yeah. Whilst, that's how he did his solve as well. He just used other people's information, but he hasn't got a claim if he doesn't own the property. His statement of what fraud is that he put up on his own video is basically saying that you haven't got a case because you don't own the property that you're saying you've been defrauded out of. What? Your description of fraud says that you have to own the property before it's actually fraud. Don't know. Don't understand it. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Rich. Yeah, I thought the wind could affect it. I don't know what the fire thing was. I know that he said it wouldn't get blown to smooth if smithereens if Yellowstone blew up. Just all the blaze. Uh-oh. You said it's not time for oops. Now you're saying it's too late. Which oops? Dude, the fire, the fire. The roof, the roof, the roof is on fire. Painted black. Sounds like an Amy Winehouse song. Back to black. Yeah, why would that be? Could it be, did the hot water affect the patina? That's another thing as well. For chaos, hot water, hot potato. Oh, too many, really. talk about. But all those things were stated in the chase, and possibly the end of the chaos is what ends it. £22 he lost was the gold in the box. Converted into cash. Dirty cash, I want you, bloodhounds. Ah, here he is. Welcome to the new day, Davy B. Here is some info. I have come to you from tomorrow. I speak truth. Hello, host, and everyone here. He's speaking from the future. How is it in the future? Your time traveling exploits are well known now, Davy. Time for a royal hunt. That was a ruse. It was a ruse. The ruse, the ruse, the ruse is on fire. Davy B. Here is an odd Nostradamus quote. In the letter he wrote to his son regarding the end of the world. Somebody else was saying that to me the other day. When they wanted to get hold of me with that signal when I was leaving. Davy B magically appeared. Prize is a trove, not the chest and gold. A future present. Who says I can't affect the future? Not me. It's good to read you, Davy. Title is ownership. When it was sold, the owner still has title to the proceeds. So it would 37.50. Two rare birds will be seen. Oh no! I might still be alive then, Zozo. 37.50. I think the sun's getting bigger and bigger, and as it gets bigger, we're going to get hotter and hotter. So we'll end up like Mars and Venus. But even if the world ends, there's nothing to say that human civilization is still around when it does. What, at the end of the world? Phoenix rising from the ashes. Tora Tora can be heard. This day, this day. Got kamikaze people in chat. Halfway. Halfway? It must be further than halfway. No way, another way, we're going to die. No way, another way, we're going to die. Somebody slapped that guy. He's panicking. Or she's panicking. I don't know anymore. Is my tomorrow 2 days ahead of yours? No. No, you're only a day ahead. So your tomorrow is only a day ahead of our tomorrow. Stop doing that, Davey. Yes, this is the end of the search season. 265 days in the search season. There's 265 days as well between 264 between the death of Jesus and the birth of Jesus. Another place we went. Crazy stuff. I was dead before I was alive. When you die, you go back. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do the law will on me, Richard. Home sweet home. Or home. $260. Why 5 fake coins? Did Forrest know there was 5 fake coins in there? Were they purposely put in there to be found? If it crosses the ecliptic, don't cross the streams. Coming back as a cow. A fawn cow. There's the solstice equinox, isn't there? The autumnal equinox. Bellow, that's another chaos word. Put in chaos. Who stole the cooker from the kookaburra tree? Who, me? Yes, you. Who stole the 5th coin? What? Not a duck bill. A platypus bill. A duck bill. Platypus. What bill will we use? Well, they're talking about the 500 and the 1,000. But they were saying that the bill was in a protective casing. But then why did Forrest take the IOU up? Because that could have been the same. And I didn't think my bank was going to be there. Why would that statement be made? Tim makes coins. What sort of coins, Tim? Oh, Tim's gone and he's not here. Uh-oh, she's probably bringing you a beer, Ben. Don't mess with my stoof. Is that alphabet soup? That's chaos as well. Justin said the 5th coin came up missing. They're very, what's the word? Not negligent, but there seems to be a lot of stuff going missing in the chase. Ooh, Sacagawea. There was a tugboat called the Sacagawea. I think I've told Forrest this. That was being sold by... can't remember. Ben, you're retracting again. Yes, I'm going to let you all go as well because it is nearly 1:30 in the morning here. So, K-Pro said they were going to go live on Thursdays instead of whatever Mondays. But they went on Thursdays anyway. They did the Beacon Star. Thanks for being here, Tigger. Yeah, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you coming for Richard. Thank you for coming, Richard. Goodbye, everyone. Ciao for now. Benjamin. Benjamin says that. No, I don't, Jameen. What do you mean? Benjamin. Take care, everyone. Thanks for being such a good and entertaining chat room. I do appreciate you all listening to me rattle on and talk to me via these words. Hopefully that they mean what I think they do. Lucky Dipper. That's giving the game away a bit. We'll argue later. Larry, there seems to be a what's the word? But you arguing seems to be happening quite a bit. Thank you. I honestly appreciate you being here and joining in a good way. Thank you. Have a good afternoon for you as we're getting towards evening for some of you. Thanks again. Yeah, they're all pirates. All pirates together. Just be careful of the crocodile. You have to get Mr. Smee to help you on that one. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for being involved. Have a great evening, everybody else. I'm going to go catch some Zeds. Davey, talk to you, when I wake up, whatever time that is, probably 8 or 9 hours away, I suppose. Swing the cat. There's not enough room to swing the cat. Cheers. Ciao for now. Take care.